All right. Hey, everyone. So let's talk a little bit about some of the features that I think housing is going to need to add in order to be more successful for a wider range of players. These are all features that I think if you messed around at all with the housing system on the PTR or even in the alpha, which I don't have access to, I think you'll agree that these are some things that are definitely needed. It's really blue. I, Get what you pay for, I guess. So, top of the list for me first is free movement while inside the home, right? When you're outside, you can get on your mount, you can get in the old flying, and you have free movement to sort of get whatever angle you need to place all of your items, to move things around. But when you're inside the house, there's no way to maneuver the camera the way that you need to. There's no way to like reach things that are high up if you're building something that's elevated. I put a little short together showing that like you can clip a platform into your body and then jump above the platform as a way to sort of move up without building all the scaffolding, but that's kind of annoying. One simple solution that comes to mind is monks have this ability to freely move whenever they want. They can just sort of get on a cloud and go up, down, and all around. And I think that would be really nice. If you're working on the indoor, if you're like in edit mode, maybe it'd be nice to give that buff to players so that you can just sort of free move all around. And then, when you exit, maybe you just lose it. Maybe it's just like a temporary buff while you're in the edit mode. You can freely move around so that you can get the angle that you need, so that you can place the items that you need. And I think it would make things a whole hell of a lot better for a lot of players if when you're working on your house, you can just sort of free move around inside. I think it's kind of weird that you're restricted in the way that you are. Number two, and this is a really big one for me. I kind of hate how the items work. I think it's really annoying to run out of items. Like I get what they're going for, right? If there's infinite items, then you have less of an economy, right? If you only need something one time, then how are the crafters gonna be able to fill all these resources? Like there are really good reasons to have limited numbers of items. I do get that. I just think that the way that you get more items is really annoying, actually, especially with how some of these vendors are sparsed out. I remember I was making a table. I was setting a table. I was putting items on a table to make it look nice, and then I ran out of cups. But the cup I was using was sold by some random guy in my garrison. So I had to stop building my home, go to my garrison, and then buy like 5 more cups from this guy using garrison resources, then hearth back so that I could keep placing my cups. And that's just not an amount of work that is worth getting an extra couple of cups. You know what I mean? Like it's just not it just adds a lot of friction to the system that I just don't think, like, why are we doing this? I think a really nice way to solve this, a really good way that's just simple and smooth, but still keeps the sort of, limited items. We want to purchase things. Let me buy stuff from the catalog. Like if I've unlocked an item, if I've unlocked the cup item, let me buy more from the housing UI. There's already that catalog that lets you see all of the items. So let me just like order more cups. You know what I mean? Like you can already do that in real life. It's not like the weirdest thing in the world to imagine that you could open up a catalog and place an order and just have it mailed to me like it's Animal Crossing or something. In Animal Crossing, you can use the little machine that they have to order an item that you want, and then it gets mailed to you. Just do that. Like, sure, maybe the first time it makes sense that I gotta go all the way to my garrison and talk to that random idiot who sells cups and buy a cup from him to unlock it, right? Sure. Well, have us do that for the first time for every item. But once I've unlocked an item, do I really need to, like, go and buy 50 more cups every time I run out of cups? Like, is that... It just seems like with the movement and with the item things, these are two things where I want to be playing housing. I want to be interacting with the housing system, but it's set up in such a way that, like, I'm not. Like, in order to do housing the fun way, I have to do a bunch of random chores. That's not like unlocking things. It's not like grinding rep. It's just the process of getting an item is really annoying. I get it. I understand why we need limited amounts, but let me buy it from the catalog. Just let me buy it from the catalog, ship it to me, mail it to me, give me Amazon in World of Warcraft, please. If we could go ahead, we have teleporters, we have portal networks. The Draenei have literal spaceships, so at this point we can have Amazon, right? Can we just have Amazon? Can we just number 2 on my wish list, please give me Amazon. I would like to order cups and have them show up at my door. I don't want to go to the store to get more cups, especially if that store is in an alternate timeline of a different planet. Okay, so for the third thing here, I would really like if there was an undo feature of some kind. Like if I could just hit Control Z and undo whatever I worked on. You can sort of do this. Like if you've grabbed an item and you're making adjustments to it and you don't like it, you can hit escape and it'll be like you never grabbed that item in the first place. But that's only while you're still editing the item. Once you've placed it, it's there. And there's no real way to sort of like undo what you've done. And I think that would be a really nice addition. It'd be nice if I could sort of, you know, maybe I'm just like, oh, what if my furniture was over here now? What if these windows were in a different spot or something? Let me try it out. Oh, I didn't like that. Control Z 15 times. Now it's back to how it was. You know, that would be something that would, at least for me, allow for a lot more engagement, because I feel like I'm going to get into this spot where I have my house how I like it and I think it's really good, and then I'm like paranoid about touching it. And I don't want to like mess it up and not be able to go back and get it back. So some sort of save and undo feature would be nice. If we can't do like a Control Z on everything, maybe just like let me save my house, kind of like how you save like an outfit in Transmog. Maybe let me save a house layout and then I can just like load in that layout whenever I want, you know? And honestly, it might be kind of nice to just have a couple of save slots for that anyway. Like, you know, let me save, this is my jumping puzzle version of the house. This is my home sweet home version of the house. Like, let me save a couple of layouts and then pick from them dynamically. Even if it's kind of janky, I don't really mind. I think like a lot of new players are going to walk in and start placing items and messing around with stuff. And then like once they get used to the tools, be like, okay, time for a clean slate. I want to build my thing. Like I'm used to the tools now. I want to start from scratch and build something nice. But the only way to do that is to like individually grab every item and delete it, or delete every room. And that's just kind of clunky, just kind of annoying. So number 3 for me is some sort of undo feature, some sort of save my layout feature. It'd just be really nice to, in some way, smooth out this whole building process, you know? So number 4, the fourth thing that I think would be really nice is a way to save compound items. You know, like when you spend all the time building out, you know, here's a table, I've set the table, I've used little rocks as plates, I've put all my cups. Can I just like save like that whole construct that I made? That way I don't ever have to build it again and it's easier to move stuff around. Or if I like take the time to build out this cool window, right? Like I make that whole 3D window in the back and it looks really nice. It'd be cool if I could just sort of save that whole thing as an object so that I can easily delete the entire compound object, or I can easily make copies of the compound object. Tears of the Kingdom had a similar system where like you could build out your little mechanical thingamabob and then save it. And then in the future, you could make a copy of it. And if you had the resources, it would pop them all in together. Something like that would be really nice, I think, especially when people are going to be spending a lot of time on the finer details, on making sure like every little thing is in the right spot. It would be very nice if I can sort of group items together, move them all together, and save them so that in the future I can make another copy of that compound item. It would save a whole lot of time for a whole lot of people, and it would be just another one of those things that sort of makes the whole building experience a lot smoother. To be clear, going into housing, I fully expected it was going to be like, here's your house, pick one option out of 5 for your customization, right? It was, I fully expected it was going to be like, here's predetermined painting slots on the back, pick the painting you want. I'm already very impressed by the fact that I can pull out any item and put it anywhere. That's already well above what I expected from this game. But it would be really nice if I could just sort of group items together and just sort of save it and then make another one of it or move it around or something. is not a good camera, is it? I'm all like soft. Why am I soft? The final thing for me, the fifth thing that I would really like added is just sort of an inspect feature would be really nice. If I could just press a button and then mouse over an item when I'm visiting like a neighbor's house or their outdoor area, and it could just give me the name of the item and, you know, preferably where to get that item would be really nice. I passed one guy when I was looking at houses, and he had this like giant ball of magma floating above his house. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. Beats me where you get it. I don't know what it's called. I don't know where it's from. It's just a big ball of lava. But I think a lot of players are going to be, you know, looking at houses in their neighborhood, looking at cool builds that people make, and they're going to go, wow, that's an awesome window that you have. Where do you get the window? And then it's just sort of up to whether or not the player remembers where they got that specific window, or even like what the name of the window is. So I think a little inspect feature would be nice. It'd be really cool if I could just mouse over an item, get the name of the item, and where it's from. And then, you know, it's super easy for me to go and get it myself. If I see a really cool item, then I'll go get it. And that's kind of the trend with all 5 of these, right? Is like, I want to engage with your housing system, Blizzard. I really want to. I like it a lot. Please stop making it so difficult. It'd be really cool if it were less difficult to do the things that you want me to do. You know, you make money when I play the game longer, so please make it easier for me to play the game longer, is kind of the point of this video. Now, 2 quick things that are not like need features, but things that I think would be really nice to have, and just kind of group them together. It'd be really nice to show off my mounts outside my house. I don't know why even... What's the point of spending all this time in solo shuffle as a healer, which is the worst goddamn way you could possibly play this game, by the way. Awful. But I do it because it gives me a cool little alligator guy, and a cool little alligator guy, little armor and stuff on it. And what am I gonna do? Why do I get the cool alligator guy if you can't let me show off that I have the cool alligator guy? I mean, what? I got the cool alligator guy. I'm lying. The alligator isn't even my favorite one. I like the snail more. I have a little snail, and we do the little mount special, and he pops into it, and he... Please let me show people my snail, Blizzard. Oh, and the other thing is, can we just kind of have, like, more interactable items? I don't know how much of it is, like, PTR versus, you know, the beta or whatever, but add more items that do cool things, basically. You know, like, we got doors and we got chairs, but that's kind of it. The only one that really comes to mind is the secret bookshelf, and by the way, make, like, 50 more of those. The secret bookshelf's really cool, but, like, not every house has room for a bookshelf-type secret door, but would definitely want a secret-type door, so if we could get, like, 50 different versions of that same item that just fit different aesthetics, that'd be really cool, by the way. But just more interactable items. I feel like, you know, you kind of set it and it's a little dollhousey. You know, the items are just sort of there for the sake of being there. And at the end of the day, that is kind of everything in this game. But it would be nice if, like, a couple of them, I could, like, click it and it does a little thing. I don't know what thing, but it'd be cool. If I click it and it does something, that'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool. I would put it next to my snail. Also, thanks for all the subscribes, guys. I didn't expect that at all. YouTube even turned on, like, YouTube turned on memberships for the channel. So if you want to support the channel financially, I guess you can do that now. I don't really know all the options with it. So, you know, in the future, I might, like, add something to it if people are interested. But, yeah, just so you know, you can support it financially now. So that's cool. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks to you guys for all the subscribes and stuff. And please give me access to the beta so that I can look at more houses, please. I would like to look at more houses. Blizzard. Hey, Blizzard. Hey. Can I have more house, please? I would like to see more of the houses. I don't know what just fell.